Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite video. In tonight's video, or today's video actually, this is more of like a actual video during the day, but rather than my normal super late night uploads. But basically, I'm going to be talking about, I changed my build sensitivity. I changed it again. I've raised it again. I've talked about this in the past and I'm going to talk about why, and also some building maneuvers that are sort of simple stuff that everyone should be able to do, because I think that building really is how you can elevate your game. And on every single level, every single console, every single game mode, people are building today better than they were yesterday, way better than they were a month ago or a couple months ago. And this is a game that constantly needs to evolve. I couldn't imagine someone who, even like a top level player a couple months ago in Fortnite, trying out if they took a couple months off to try out the game now, because of how this game is constantly evolving. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Smack that like button if you guys could. I would really appreciate the support lately. Has been incredible. Keep it up. It takes a millisecond. Hit that like button. Let's go for 2,000. I would really appreciate that. Also, everyone in the item shop, new skins dropped yesterday. They're absolutely amazing. Well, you know, I like them. And the pickaxe is only 500, so I got that too. And basically, if you're in the item shop, use code the Goblin YT. Support a creator. You basically hit that square button or whatever it is on your device or console. Enter in the Goblin YT. Capitalization doesn't matter. Just enter that in, and then whenever you purchase skins, a percentage of it supports the channel. So I really do appreciate that as well from you guys. So before we get into this video is basically all about the build sensitivity, because that's the only thing I changed. I haven't changed anything else on my settings for quite a while, and that's because once you get used to a combat sensitivity and you get used to, you know, hitting headshots with shotguns on moving targets while you're moving, it may seem easy when you're watching Tfue do it, but it's really difficult, and everyone knows that. So when you find a good combat sensitivity, I don't know why I'm so hyper talking about this right now, but you should definitely stick to that. So I'm just gonna give out my settings, because I know there's people on this video that haven't seen my previous setting videos, and that's all good. Make sure you guys subscribe. You should check out my other videos. But my full settings are, as far as sensitivity X and Y, I run a 0.60, so a 0.6, and then I run as targeting sensitivity of 0.43, scope sensitivity of 0.65, and then the one that I've changed is my wireless controller building sensitivity. For that one, I rock a 1.7 now, which is very high. If you guys want to know the history of that, when that first came out, whenever it was, like a month or a couple months ago, whenever it was, basically I switched to, or I had that originally at a 1.3. I then upped it about 3 weeks ago or a month ago to a 1.5, and I said in that video that with building sensitivity, there basically isn't too many, you know, pros versus cons. There's not too many negatives to increasing that, and that's what I'm going to talk about and stress in this video. So now I've raised it to 1.7, and how I was able to raise it was just doing it steadily, taking my time, and on the days where I did raise it, I spent about an hour, like it was like 30 minutes to an hour in Playground practicing with that sensitivity, because if you just change sensitivity and go right into a normal match, it's never going to work out for you. You're going to be basically, you know, getting stuck underneath your ramps and different stuff like that, because you really have to be able to be comfortable on your sensitivity and to make it second nature. So it's basically just muscle memory. You just hit the buttons and you just start building crazy. So that's what I run. It's a 1.7 as far as that goes, and that's what I really stress raising, because the thing with that is, you know, the best build sensitivity in my opinion is the highest build sensitivity you can make it. And the reason behind that is there's no negatives to having a super high build sensitivity, because you don't really have to be accurate when building. I mean, you place a wall there. I mean, sure, with the cone you kind of have to aim to get the right spot to put the pyramid or the cone, but you know what I mean. Most of the time you're just holding down buttons or spamming buttons and spinning around while running and jumping around and stuff like that. You don't have to be precisely accurate, and that's why I think having this sensitivity as high as possible that you can handle, and of course don't mess up your building, that's how you want to do it. So I suggest going in a private match, practicing this, trying to raise it, and when it gets too high where you're messing up your builds, maybe if you're like at a 1.8 or 1.9, you can't handle that. And of course it's going to be different for every single person depending on your controller, your setup, different stuff like that. But you guys basically get the gist of it. You want this to be as high as possible, and I'm on a 1.7 right now, but I'm going to continue to work at it, and maybe one day I'll be at a 2.0. Who knows? That might be too fast, but raising this, the only negative thing I can see is that when you switch from your builds back into combat mode, your sensitivity is going to be drastically changed. You know, there's a big difference for me when I'm building on that build sense of 1.7 versus when I'm on just the 6.6 combat sense fighting. So I have to basically adapt to that, and it does take a little bit of practice, So once you get used to one, I don't suggest you guys raise this by like, don't raise it by 5 points every single day. Once you raise it, stick with that for a week or two, and you know, make sure you're getting used to it, because settings is something that if you have the right ones, you're good, you're set up. But if you have the wrong ones, that can really kill everything. So that's what I think as far as building goes. I really think build sensitivity is a major key. As far as other settings, I think people are going to want to know. I use Builder Pro personally. Building, like, the reason why I'm talking about this and think that this is such a big deal is the reason I raised mine to 1.7 is not just because I have fun raising it. It's because people are getting better and you have to keep up nowadays. And I think that editing and building are the best ways to do that. And I really think that having a high build sensitivity is very important, because it was noticeable. I played back before Builder Pro came out, and when everyone switched over from Combat Pro to Builder Pro, I switched over like when it first came out, and for that first week or two I was just smacking people because other people were sticking on Combat Pro and trying to build with that. And then eventually everyone, all my friends, started converting over to what they realized, and I realized right at the start, after like the first day or two, was going to be the better option in the long run, Builder Pro. And that's sort of the same thing with this building sensitivity. You want to have this high so that you can basically build like a PC player, or you can build like insane, because building, it's sort of holding down buttons, knowing where to place them. It's a lot of repetition and practice, but there's nothing like speeding up your sensitivity will guaranteed make it faster for you to place the wall when you have to spin into a 180 or spin into a 90, because you're actually turning the turning the joystick or whatever, the thumbstick on your controller, and it's doing more in the game than you actually can't do. So yes, I do run Builder Pro. As far as other equipment that I run, I personally use a scuff controller. I think if you play on PS4, it's so worth it. If you actually want to take video gaming seriously, they're like $130, I think, or even more than that if you want different editions. But scuff controllers are amazing. The paddles on the back make it easy to jump shot people, make it easy to pull out your builds and quick edit on Builder Pro, because you have the paddle on the back, so you don't have to actually leave the thumbstick to do edits and also to jump. And it's completely tournament legal and stuff like that. So if you guys do play on PS4 and you want to scuff, I mean, I recommend them. If you're a serious gamer, a lot of people use them, and use code Goblin for a discount on that. Control Freaks, people ask me this as well. Yes, I do use Control Freaks. I've used Control Freaks. I've used Scuff for years. I'm sponsored by both of them. I use one Control Freak on my right thumbstick. So I get a pack of two, but I only use one at a time. So use code Goblin for a discount on either of those. Links are down in the description. And yeah, so that's what I have to say about as far as building sensitivity. Now I want to talk about 3 maneuvers that every single person should be able to do that plays on, any sort of, that wants to take this game at all seriously, because there are build moves that, it goes crazy. It changes every day, every couple days, every week. But these are 3 moves that have been in the game for a while now, and a lot of people probably already know them, but you have to be able to do these moves if you want to get a lot of solo wins and compete. And I'm going to talk about them and basically show them off to you guys in a playground. After I'm done recording this, I'm going to hop in a playground, get some footage to throw in the background of this commentary for that part to basically talk about it. So the first one you need to know how to do is a triple reinforce. Now this is very easy to do on Builder Pro. You can place them down in any sort of order you want to do, as far as how you want to do it. I think I go ramp, floor, wall. I think that's how I do it, but people do it in every single different order. People go floor, ramp, wall. People go everything. Like people probably go ramp, floor, or no, ramp, wall, floor. As long as you're triple reinforcing, it's fairly easy to do on Builder Pro. Just make sure you know how to do this. Now, you're not going to want to do this all the time. This will win you games late game when you have like a super high amount of mats and you want to rush someone. This will prevent you from being shot down unless they have explosives, pretty much. It's a triple reinforce, very easy to do once you get the hang of it, at least on Builder Pro. Or on PC, but on other devices it might be kind of hard, but it's something worth practicing. Next is the 90-degree turn. Now there's 2 ways to do 90s. Basically, well, you can do them either to the right or to the left. Do the way you're most comfortable. Of course, work on your off way as well a little bit, but you want to be able to, you can do it 2 different ways. One where you're basically just turning and with the floor or without the floor. I'll show both ways in the background gameplay, but the reason you need to be able to do these really quick is not even that quick. You just need to be able to to do these 90-degree turns, because these will take this is the number one way to take high ground over on people. You can basically get up pretty high without moving, you can move pretty a lot vertically without moving too much horizontally, and 90-degree turns are super key for that, and also for keeping yourself covered. It's something that you should be able to do at this point in the game, and if not, it's all good. Hop in to playground mode. Playground mode is amazing because you can just drop tilted and farm up and test these things out. And then the last one I think everyone should be able to know, now that glider redeploy is gone, I wanted to throw this in and talk about this in the video as well, which is just the simple drop down, which is basically building a ladder down for yourself, where when you drop off something, you use turbo build, which everyone should have on. You hold it down on the walls, and then you just catch yourself with a floor or a ramp. Very easy way, and something that you need to know, because nowadays third parties come out of nowhere. If you build fight someone, you win the build fight, but you're up way too high, someone's RPG in your base, you need to get down quick. This is going to be the fastest way to do it. Before, you could just use a bouncer to get out. Well, you could glider redeploy. Before that, you could just use a bouncer to get off. None of that stuff is available. You probably don't want to waste a jump pad to get down. So this is the easiest way. It's very like these aren't very complicated moves. These are just stuff that everyone should have in their arsenal if you want to take this game seriously. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys could drop a like, I would really appreciate that. Subscribe if you guys are new. Check out some of my other videos. Thank you to everyone using the Goblin YT in the item shop. And that's about it, guys. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.